Hey guys, what's up? It's Mandy and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is a recreating my old sketch, episode 2, and I decided to recreate the sketch that I drew back in August when I first got my Wacom Intuos Pro tablet. And yeah, I wanted to recreate it because it's been a couple of months since I've done it, and I feel like I definitely improved a whole lot just with them practicing and constantly using my tablet. It was definitely a struggle when I first used it, and as you can see, it was a horrible, horrible mess. But I think within time, I was able to have better control with the pen and kind of basically controlling basically this whole drawing digitally tablet, whatever way you want to do it with a tablet and pen. It's very difficult to get used to something which you're not used to, which I'm very used to a lot of traditional art with pen and pencil. So this was definitely a challenge when I first started. I would really get frustrated, but I kept practicing and I feel like I really improved, which is why I really wanted to recreate the sketch right here. And basically what you see me doing here is a lot of layering. And layering is like a really big help, and it's so essential when it comes to digital sketching and painting, because it helps get rid of your mistakes easier without going backwards and kind of interrupting any other paint that you get on one layer or the other. So that's the reason why you kind of layer things. So basically, like what you see here, I created a guideline and I lowered the opacity so that way I could trace over that. And like I said, I think I've said it in my old video with the Simply Canon one. You want to basically draw without a not reference, but without a drawing underneath it. Like mine's, I drew it freehand for the guideline, but they said, like I heard from another artist, that it's a lot easier to draw without tracing over another image because you kind of learn how to have better control over that instead of relying on something under it, which is the route that I took, and I feel like it really helped me improve. So now I'm able to draw freehand um, with the tablet, and I think it really helps. So I really recommend you guys that for those of you who are just starting off with this. And I'd really recommend giving you guys about 3 to 4 weeks to kind of get used to the pen. Normally I heard about 2 weeks, but with the pen, I feel like 3 to 4 weeks is a good amount of time to kind of play around and get used to it, depending how much you use it. I would kind of use it for maybe an hour a day, just so that way I could like really get used to it, because it was really difficult at first. But as you can see, I feel like I really improved a whole lot. I feel like I got a lot of better control, and I've learned to use color theory. I did not know how important it is to have color theory in digital sketching or digital art, because one layer over another, the color will seep through, and it just, yeah, it's really like a different kind of study. So I'm still studying it, but I feel like I've learned a lot more with color through digital art. And as you can see on my left side, I went really heavy on the blush. My hair on there is pretty much, things are out of line. It's not clean. Shadows are placed wherever. This sketch was actually done really quickly, and me just trying to have better control over the pen, because I just could not control how to go it. It was just so difficult. So if I had the money, I would totally go for the Cintiq. But if you just want to start off with tablets like this was a great start into digital art. So yeah. But anyways, as you can see from the bottom right, there are a bunch of layers like that. You're gonna be, once you start doing this kind of artwork, you're gonna be stuck with a lot of layers. And I don't, not saying that I'm the best. I feel like I definitely improved. As you can see on the right, I feel like my technique grew better. Because with pencil and pen, I can draw really fast, and it's a lot cleaner and precise, especially with color and watercolor. I feel like I have a really good idea and set on how to draw like that. But when it comes to digital art, it's a little bit different and harder for me because I'm not used to that. So you'll see like a difference between paper and digital artwork. My artwork through paper and pencil is a lot stronger than digital art, but that's something that I really am trying to improve on and work on, because I just enjoy digital art in general. Um, so yeah, you can definitely see how different the character looks. The left side, very disproportionate a lot, and her eyebrows, something's wrong with her eyebrows. Highlights off, lips off. Not really a good idea. Yeah, she looks like she's having a bad day. So I recreated the whole thing again, trying to use the same colors, and I tried to keep it simple. One thing I've learned so far with digital art is trying to keep things very simple, because when you start getting really into this thing, you start to find all these different tools, and then you kind of go crazy and try to add a bunch of things which does not work. But if you really want to try and find out what tools you can use within brushes, I think it's really a useful tool to just do it. So that's what I kind of did here. And basically how I learned digital art was going off of people's work. So I do have a lot of inspiration, which I mentioned in my recent digital sketch. So you guys can go ahead and watch that. And I pretty much mentioned a lot of the artists that I like and where I kind of gravitate towards. Yeah, and as you like, basically you can see the eyes, the lips, the nose are a lot better, a lot cleaner. My eyebrows are much nicer, and I noticed that I do not, within color, I do not like to use a lot of black outlining. For me personally, it does not suit the way that I like to do character development. I would always admire a lot of people's artwork, and I like color in my characters, but I like to use a lot of the browns and dark grays for my black. I don't really like to use black. I feel like it's a little bit too harsh on mine, and I like to mix up colors. I love like the teals and the pinks, and I love for the cheeks, I love that reddish orange. I like to mix a lot of those things up. When I first started doing this, I kind of got really into the blending tool, which now I do not use blending tool. I actually lower the opacity a lot. Opacity I played with a lot within this, and I do a lot of layers with that in case I make a mistake. And I actually have the lowest brushes. If you guys didn't watch my Simply Canon video, my first digital one, I mentioned that I actually have a pack of lowest brushes that I downloaded for free from this link that she had, and I really like it. I've been using it a lot. I try to use it basically when I'm rough drafting something. As far as coloring, I don't use it, but as far as drawing a rough draft, any guideline, I find it really helpful. And back to when I mentioned color theory really helped me with shadowing. So I used to always think you had to apply gray on top of anything you use to make shadows, and it's not necessarily needed. You can always go with like a different color. So like what I learned from using tan skin is that I would kind of go with what either orange or yellow, or even, yeah, basically orange and yellow. I would look on the color wheel, and I found that like a bluish would be like a shadow color for her skin tone, which I always use that now. But it depends how warm or how cool my skin is that I'm using, and then I would go from there and choose which blue, which I think is super helpful. So pretty much when you are starting off to do this, I really recommend studying the color wheel. It's really helpful. I'm still studying it. I don't know it exactly perfectly well, but it really helps. And basically, there is no right or wrong to art, digital art, or any kind of art. It's basically your own preference. So it doesn't matter what you do, it's how you do it. And you might think, an artist might think that your work sucks, but you might think your work doesn't. So it just really depends on your own preference and how well you want to improve. I really like this style, and I feel like I really want to improve more. So of course I'm going to study more. But yeah, like I feel like I really improved. So as you can see, I kind of went not overboard, but I kind of have a lot of fun with layering and playing with light and all of that. So that's what I do. And one good thing about digital art is that you have so much tools. Like down below on the right side, you'll find that you can change the color and lighting of a background, or a color where you can add light to it. And I definitely play with that a lot. I'm probably going to be doing it in a few seconds. You'll be seeing it. Um, but I like to add a lot of background into my characters, which is what you'll see here. So yeah. So for the background, I decided to make it a pink tone. I don't know. I love pink and teal together. I feel like they just work well, and they just add that cute feminine touch to any of my drawings. So I did that, and I kind of played around with this part. This part is basically me testing out my other tools that I found in here. So I'm just playing around with the light, because I learned that if you click on like exclusion, I think exclusion or whatever tab that is on the layer button, there's a lot of different techniques that you can use. And as you can see, this technique right here that I'm using for the background is me lowering the opacity more to create a straggly, kind of messy background, because I kind of like to mess around the background a lot. Sometimes I don't like to make it super clean, but yeah, this is how I pretty much do the background a lot. I see some artists doing it. Personally love that style. I don't like it to be super one tone, depending on the sketch. But as you can see, like the tabs that I'm clicking on here, those are pretty much tools that you can use to play around with to figure out lighting. Example like this. It depends what your own preference is, but me personally, I thought I would like it on this sketch. I didn't, so I ended up cleaning it up again. So you'll find that you'll be cleaning up a lot of stuff on when it comes to digital art, which is why I recommend layers. But basically, this is it. And yeah, definitely always improve and keep practicing your digital art or any type of artwork because it really does help. And always recreate an old work because you can definitely see a huge improvement. And yeah, pretty much this is it. And I guess I just want to say thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.